Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Storify. And in this time, I would like to continue the story of the previous part, which is part 3. No, the previous part was part 2. And now we're going to tell you all the third chapter as well, the ox heart. Without any further ado, let's begin the story. As I said before, I need to read on my phone because I couldn't remember all the story I wrote because it is way too long, okay? Chapter 3, the ox heart. Elias' first steps into the deeper corridors of Act 3 felt like trespassing into another world. After years of choking ass and burning skies, the glow of electric lamps seemed like stolen sunlight. The soldiers kept their rifles angled towards him, a reminder that he was not welcome, only thoroughly rated. The air here smelled of steel, oil, and faintly of soap, so clean it almost stung his nose. It felt wrong to breathe something so pure. He half expected to wake up coughing the wasteland again, but the hum of turbines below ground told him this was real. This was survival carved into metal. The walls were lined with thick pipes carrying water, air, and power like fins in a giant body. Audrey was alive, and Elias had just entered his bloodstream. The soldiers brought him into a chamber filled with mist, then contamination. One of them said curtly. Jets of chemical spray burst from the walls, soaking Elias in a freezing antiseptic cloud. He huffed violently as the mist burned against his cracked mask. "Remove it," the soldier ordered. Elias hesitated, his lungs screaming at the thought. But then slowly he pulled the mask off his face. For the first time in years, he drew a breath of air without a filter. His chest expanded sharply, his throat robot light. He nearly fell into his knees. He hadn't realized how heavy the mask had been until it was gone. The mist evaporated, leaving his skin prickling with cold. A mirror on the wall reflected his face, sunken eyes, hollow cheeks, but grown wild. He looked like a ghost crawling back into the world of living. A technician in suit handed him clean clothes, gray overalls, rough but intact. Elias yanked out his right gear, feeling stripped of his old self. When he emerged, the soldier no longer pointed rifles at him, but their stares were still sharp. One spoke into a calm device. Subject cleared, sending to lower quarters. A voice cracked back. Copy, assign him to Dormitory Delta. They escorted Elias down another corridor, this one echoing with faint voices. For the first time he saw them, other survivors. Men and women walked in gray uniforms carrying tools, speaking quietly. Children darted between their legs, laughter muffled but startlingly real. Elias laughed, stunned. He hadn't heard a child laugh since before the war. His chest ached at the sound, both painful and beautiful. The other survivors glanced at him with suspicion, then quickly looked away. He was an intruder in their fragile order. In Act 3, suspicion was safer than kindness. The soldier brought him into a heavy metal door marked Dormitory Delta. They opened it with his off hydraulics. Inside, rows of narrow bunks lined the walls. Some were occupied, some empty. Elias saw tired face glance up from the shadows, then return to silence. The soldiers saw him forward. "This is you," one muttered. "Work shift starts at 6 o'clock. Then they left the door hissing shut behind them. For the first time since stepping inside Act 3, Elias was alone. He dropped onto a bunk, the mattress thin but softer than concrete. His body sagged, exhausted beyond thought. He wanted to sleep for a century, but his mind spun like the turbines had heart. He was inside. He was alive. But he was also trapped. Act 3 wasn't Heaven 7, shining sanctuary of mist. It was Mason that tolerated him as long as he worked. If he failed, the hedge would spit him back into the wasteland. The thought kept his eyes open long into the artificial night. Hours later, a bell chimed through the dome. Survivors stirred, pulling on boots, trying belts, preparing for another cycle. A man on bank across from Elias leaned over, studying him. "You're new," the man said, voice low. Elias nodded. The man's face was gone, his hair shaved close to the scalp. He looked like someone caught from hunger and worry. "Name's Jonah," the man said. "You?" "Elias." Jonah gave a humorless smile. "Welcome to the Ark, don't get too comfortable." Elias frowned. "Why?" Jonah laced his boots slowly. "Because comfort makes you soft, and softness gets you thrown out." Elias swallowed, the warning sinking into him like a ship. You've seen it happen? Too many times. The bell chimed again, louder. The dormitory door opened and a guard barked, "Walk, Steve, move!" The survivor filled out in a silent line. Elias followed, his stomach twisting with dread and curiosity. They marched through long corridors, past human generators and sealed storage room. The air smelled faintly of oil and ozone. At last, they entered the cavernous chamber filled with pipes, turbines, and reservoirs. The zone was overwhelming. A symphony of masonry kept the Ark alive. A supervisor in a black coat stood on a platform shooting orders like Team A through C to filtration, Team D through F reactor support, engineers with me. Elias hesitated until Jonah gave him a shove. "That's you, engineer." Elias stumbled forward, joining a smaller group. The supervisor looked him over a frown, another stray. "He's certified," a soldier said flatly. The supervisor nodded but said no more. Sorry. He led them deeper to control line, a room with glowing monitors. The screen showed reactors, temperatures, coolant levels, radiation shields. Elias' heart skipped at the night. Nuclear energy. Even here in the Ark, humanity couldn't escape it. The very thing that had ended the surface floor now powered its last refuge. "We keep the reactor alive," the supervisor said. "If it dies, we die." He jabbed the finger at Elias. "You, civil engineer, right? You'll assist on the coolant maintenance." Elias nodded quickly, hiding his nerves. He'd worked with water system before, but never this deep underground, never with a reactor at stake. Failure wasn't just costly here, it was a fatal. A technician shoved a datapad into his hand. "Read the schematic, learn fast." Elias scanned the diagrams, his old instincts, steerings, pipes, valves, coolant loops. It was familiar yet terrifying. He could see where stress points were marked. Where leaks had been patched, the system wasn't perfect. It was wounded, limping along like people it served. If he didn't help, it would collapse. His fingers tightened around the datapad. He couldn't fail. Horseblood as he worked. He crawled through narrow shafts, tightened valves, checked meters. Sweat dripped down his back, but for the first time in years, it wasn't from fear, it was from labor. His mind focused, sharper than it had been in years. He was an engineer again, not just a scavenger stumbling through ruins. The hum of the reactor became his rhythms. The ark was fragile, but it breathed. And now, so did he. When the work cycle finally ended, Elias emerged exhausted but alive. The supervisor gave him a court note. Not useless, the man muttered. It was the closest thing to praise Elias had heard in years. He returned to the dormitory with aching muscles but a flicker of pride. Jonah raised an eyebrow at him. Still breathing? Elias gave a weak smile. Barely. Jonah chuckled dryly. Then you're already doing better than half of us. Elias lay on his bunk staring at the ceiling. The ark hummed around him, a giant machine holding the last scraps of humanity. He had found safety, but yes, safety wrapped in chains. He closed his eyes, whispering to himself, I'll survive, I'll survive. But the dark thought gnabbed at him. How long before the ark itself broke? Machine failed, system collapsed, nothing lasted forever. Not even underground. And if the ark died, they would all die with it. So guys, that was the end of chapter 3. So I think that's all for now. We can continue to the next video. It will be the chapter 4, cracks in the machine. Okay, I think it's gonna be the climax of the story as well. So I can't wait to tell you all. Okay, so if you like the video, please click the button like, and please comment below and share to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe as well. Thank you very much. Storify here. Goodbye.